holy crap. Like, I live in such a wonderful world of my own that I don't know what the freaking majority are doing. Obviously, I don't want to know. I don't want to be involved in any of that shit. So I go to the farm today. Last time it was a few weeks ago, and then I decided I better be frugal with my cash because this craziness is going on. The delusion and the way people are reacting to it, the majority of the freaking people. I haven't been getting jobs like I normally do at this time. And so I decided I better be frugal with my cash, and I've just been buying like cheap stuff. So I haven't been going to the farm. The last time I went, it was like insane lines of people hoarding like all the milk and all the stuff. So, oh my god. You know, what can I do but just observe and then use social media and stuff to barf out my perspective and opinion, because telling people doesn't do anything to change their mind. They're totally lost in fear and paranoia, and no amount of truth telling and so forth is going to change their minds. It's a waste. So in my real world, I don't say anything necessarily. I mean, I have my roommate. You know, he's tripping out, like freaking locked in his room, scared shitless. And that's fine. Obviously, he feels most comfortable doing. But, you know, when he comes out and makes it my problem by demanding that I not allow any new renters in, any new people in, I'm just like, dude, I gotta pay my bills, okay? So I'm sorry about your, you know, mental problems and the paranoid fear that you're lost in right now, but unless you're gonna pay me 3 times the amount of rent you pay, then I have to bring in people. And even if I didn't bring in any people, I have to go out. I have to go get my kids. I have to, you know, get them food, whatever. So do your due diligence. And I love my earrings. Little copper baby. Ooh, they're so pretty. Besides the point. The point is, he made it my business. I had to tell him, like, chill, dude. And I had to remind him, like, what are the things that you can do to actually just protect yourself without having control or attempt to control anyone else, okay? Because that's going to be your best bet if this thing is true. If there's this virus thingy that's out to get you, what is the true things that you can do to protect yourself from this big bad mean virus thingy? And he agreed and went in his room and shut the door, and silly ass. But I go to the farm today, and everything's all like walled off or whatever, and like someone's standing there. I didn't understand. I didn't know what's going on. Jaco, can you stop splashing my phone, please? Thank you. Of course, he's not really gonna stop. Pues irte para allá. Vete para allá, por favor. Vete para allá. Okay, vete para allá. Anyways, so you know, the person that was there stopped me, and I was like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Anyways, apparently they're not letting anyone in the store, and they're just taking online orders. And, oh, I was able to rent out some rooms. So I got some cash, go to get my good milk, my good shit, you know. Anyways, luckily they had some milk still left that was not spoken for, and some meat and stuff, so I just ordered there with her really quickly. And then they do basically like a drive-through window pickup thingy, which is great. Easier for me. It's fine with me. But it just made me realize how another layer level of what's really going on here came to me. And that is that this is a test. It's a test to see how truly controlled they have people. Hello. And
I just wanted to show you. At least to the light.
obviously what they're finding is they have people pretty well under control and in their total control. Of course, there's those people like me that we're just going around doing our thing as usual, right? And then we run into areas where we can't do our usual thing, not because of our own choice, but because of other people's. Divis? Anyways, the stores and things that are deciding to conform or comply with the recommendations, we go there, we have to obviously just follow the rules because it's their store, they can do what they want. But at least in this country, and I would bet in other countries too, it's not that they're mandating things, it's they're scaring people enough to get them to just do it. I have a friend, quote unquote friend, in India. He's like, oh, if we go out, they'll shoot us. I think that's bullshit. I think he's fucking lying. I seen posts that he posted, he's buying into the bull crap. So these people, like in India and also in my baby's dad is in Peru, possibly my Mexico friends as well, which I actually talk to that friend very much, but they just put so much fear into these people and they buy into it. So they themselves are policing themselves. They're doing it to themselves, and it's all just made up, but it's showing to the people who made this up. I don't care if there's sick people and dying people. It doesn't mean they're dying of a thing called corona. It just means they're dying of stuff they would be dying of anyways. And they're just saying it's corona because that's what is supposedly going around. So one thing I do know from the doctors and nurses whom I personally know, people in my family whom are these things, is that they just make up causes of death. They're not over there doing tests and things. They're just like, oh yeah, it's the corona, you died of it, bye. And then people are like, scientifically proven facts. It's like, no, it's them just making up stuff and saying it, and then they put it on paper, and then you freaking are idiots. They just take it as scientific and fact because you've been brainwashed to worship the DRs, the drug dealers. So depending on the country that you're in, there's more level of control because there's more level of fear in the people, and the people themselves are controlling and doing this themselves. In the United States, there's not as much, But of course there's those that are and those that aren't. So there's definitely plenty of fear-filled people, but these stores, they don't have, people with machine guns over there. Like, they don't have government agencies being like, you have to do this or else we're going to shut you down. They're just choosing to do it, and some are doing it more than others depending on their own personal level of fear. So I realized this is probably most likely just like a test, just to see, okay, what level of control do we have here of these people? And those of you who are walking around with masks and gloves and shit and doing all this nonsense stuff, you're their little sheep, and they have you totally under control, and now they can see who you are, and they can see how many of you there are. And that was basically the point of doing this, was to see if there's enough whom will comply and conform and do what they're told, to step something up, whatever it is their plan is, of whatever, to see if they can go ahead and do it, depending on how much they're gonna get people to comply with it. Because obviously, if the number of people complying is low, then they're gonna have, uproar and resistance, and they don't want that. They don't like that. They like people just do what they're told. So, it's been a campaign for a long time now, since they, supposedly came up with the technology to look at these little microscopic enemies of ours. And then they convince us that there's these little microscopic enemies that are totally out of our control. We have no control over it. They just they're in massive numbers, and they're out to get us, and they kill us, and we're just completely susceptible to this. And it's just some random fate of luck if our immune system happens to work well enough to not die of it. So we're basically, although the numbers prove to be completely different than this, we're more susceptible to croaking than not croaking from these invaders, is what they've convinced us. But what the actual truth is we are the thing they're killing off. We are ecosystems for trillions of bacteria and viruses, etc. And when we're using these antibiotic, antiviral things and doing all this stuff it does do, we're actually weakening ourselves because we're killing ourselves. Oh, what's the story of why you're back? You didn't want the reward?
Yeah.
Okay, then just go down the stream over there for a few more minutes, please.
We wanna go get pizza.
Yeah, we just got here. I'm definitely not leaving yet. It's gonna be a while, so go down the stream over there and enjoy yourselves.
Can we go?
There's my little monkeys.
Mom, can I stay? Because all I'm doing is just doing this.
I would rather you stay over there though, because I'm trying to make a video.
Fine.
Okay?
I'll go sleep.
What do you guys think of the coronavirus?
What?
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, Corona's best. Corona.
Good.
I'm telling you, this stuff is real. No, it's not real.
It's not real. So you're on the it's real team and you're on the it's not real team?
No, I'm just singing this song on TikTok. But I don't want to see the actual bad word.
Oh, good. I appreciate that. Okay, go enjoy the stream down there.
You want to go to the H word?
Okay, we don't need to know what word it says. Don't even tell us any more details about it. So first you have the installment of Be Afraid.
Mom, did you see kids come over here?
Yeah. Be afraid of what you are mostly made of. And then here's all these tools of how you can kill that thing that you're afraid of.
Come over here.
And now you're actually killing yourself.
Mom.
Yeah, I did.
Do you see kids coming over here?
Yeah, I did. So you're killing yourselves, and
What's happening in my foot? The guy was gonna come to lay over here with the 2 kids.
you're giving up more of your freedoms. You're giving up more of your power. That's the point of it.
What's happening to what? Mommy, the 2 kids are gonna come and lay over here.
Why they do it exactly, I have no idea. Like, they get off on it, I guess. It's their trip, what they like and enjoy. So, yeah, I went to the farm and it just made me like so sick to my stomach of how the world is changing and they're changing it and we're letting them, not we, but you know, y'all, to buy into this. And like, this is our beautiful planet. Not necessarily our, but it's everyone's collectively.
That it might stop in summer. The corona.
And Mason wants you to know that it might stop in summer, but I think the world will be permanently changed from this. And at what level is, I don't exactly know, but I do know that
The corona?
this was a test to see where they can take it, how far we're willing to let them go.
Mommy, look back.
So the only thing we don't know exactly is how long will people tolerate this.
Look at the
So
water.
if they continue to tolerate
You
it for
can
a
see
very long
inside,
time,
but then it's dripping down.
nice. Then they can
Wanna go sleep now?
take it farther. But if people start to revolt and get tired of it, then they'll be able to gauge the limit to where it's going to be allowed to be taken. And hello. It's unfortunate. There's a deep spot right in front of me, so if you walk there, you'll fall in. I'm not sure how deep. Yeah, it's very nice. You can go all the way to the lake right here.
It's colder. It's way better.
You have so much scratches from those twigs.
Farther? But there's plenty of people here at the hot springs. That's good. But doesn't entirely affect me, just to the level of, obviously I have to comply with the people are wanting in their stores, which is fine, whatever, I don't care. I don't necessarily like getting out of my car anyways. And I mean, I do, but it's fine. I love drive-through windows. So it's making things a lot more convenient as far as that. But I am as free as I've ever been. I go do my thing. My dog business is down, but my good, Yaku. My child just pooped. Yeah, I just told you that. It's true. It's funny.
Mommy,
And I
can you
just
tell
threw it
Will
out.
to stop?
At the pool. Just to distribute people and relax. My Airbnb business is low, but I did get one fellow that came in, rented my room for a week because he had to move out of where he was at suddenly, and now he's paid me for a full month. So it's 5 weeks rented. So that's great. And I've got another fellow coming in from Airbnb that rented it for 2 months and no cancellation. So he'll be here on the 1st, unless for whatever reason he decides to cancel, which I don't see why he would. But he's more of a permanent person, not a traveler. And a fellow coming to look at my 3rd room
Yeah, she'll make
later tonight at 8. We'll see if he comes, he shows up. So it's not really affecting that, and that's where I make most of my money anyway. So as soon as people start traveling again, then they will. Oop, there you went. You found the hole. That's very hot. Super hot. Very nice. Is this pool less hot than the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. For some reason, the other one's not cooling off like it usually has before. Have you been here before?
This is well, we went yesterday.
Yesterday was your first? Nice. It's a great spot. Definitely nice.
What? No, was it? I don't know how much times we went here, but I know we went so much.
Doing my last video, there's kids that came. Huh?
Money we have
What do you mean?
on quarantine?
No, we cannot see that right now. My last video I was doing on at the hot springs, and some little dudes came, and I don't know, I don't like barfing out my woke person controversial stuff in front of innocent bystanders, so I just stopped recording. It's fine. I was pretty much done. It's just things that came to me. I was like, oh my gosh. Just so weird. But we're powerful creator beings, and these things that are happening, that we're being manipulated into, and you know, people fight to the death for this stuff. I've been having people get mad, they get annoyed that you know, they're watching all this supposed death and dying and bad stuff happening, but they don't realize they're like watching it on TV, and they don't realize that it could be completely made up and fabricated. Like, just seeing it on that shiny box doesn't prove anything, but it's too shocking and upsetting, I guess, for them to consider that it's made up. So when I'm over here saying it's made up, and then to them there's like all these deaths happening, and I'm supposed to have these feelings about these deaths, which even if they were happening or are happening, if they are, I'm not that sentimental about death. I don't see it as a big deal. Like, it's just going from here to there. It's just your body, and it's usually the ones that are dying are like people that are just like totally screwed anyways, and they're being put out of their misery. So it's good. It's a blessing. It's fine. I don't know if I mentioned this, but like another perspective could be that it's like a blessing in disguise for so many people because they're just so sick of the grind. Like, I don't know how y'all can tolerate it. I mean, I get that you need a break from your kids, so you love the fact they go to school, but your kids get sick of the grind. It's just horrifying. Like, I remember when I was being put through it, it's like, oh my God, I have to go to this freaking place again. I have to get up again. I don't want to get up. I'm tired. Like, I don't want to do this. I'm sick of it. It's just day in, day out, day in, day out, never ending, non-stop insanity. And then work, the same thing. She's like, wah, 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 wah. I mean, unless you're particularly blessed to do something you love, but even if you do, like, just doing the same thing over and over and over and over, like, it's maddening. It's insanity. And this is giving people a break from that, which is great. So I don't know if I'm supposed to go over here. Oh yeah, I think I am. I can do it. Anyways, so, people are buying into a lot of stuff that's giving them a much lesser quality of life than what they were intended to have and than what they deserve, and it kind of is super sad, but people argue for their limitations and fight for it at the same time. So I'm just saying, like, you don't have to believe it, you don't have to buy into it, and you can just continue to live your life as normal. If you want to. If not, you know, whatever. Sorry about the squeaky window thing. I promised my kids pizza. Hi, did you say I could order?
I'll be with you in just a moment, sorry.
Okay, my window is up. I couldn't hear. Anywho, no. That's the wrong button. This technology business confused me. Let's see now. What should I get the humans?
Could you get a crazy bread? A crazy sauce?
I guess. Anywho, I just wanted to finish that up. There's more thoughts having the matter, but I can't focus right now, obviously. So,
I'll go big pizza.
you should continue to live so you're free if you want to, because you are. Nobody's making you any of this stuff. It's all freely being chosen.
Oh, you know when,
Peace out. Mwah.